Board members, moving on to agenda item 11. This is the consent calendar agenda. So if there are items to be pulled, now's the time to do so. Member Bogus.
I would like to pull 11, sorry, I apologize, 11.2, and then 11.1.4, 11.1.10, 11.1.7, and I believe 11.1.6. And that is all I would like to pull, but I do have a question about 3 and 5.
So we have some pulled agenda items, consent items. Let me just make sure that we have those correctly. 11.1.4, 1.6, 1.7, 1.10, and then 11.2. Is that all of those, Member Bogus? Okay. Are there any motions before us? Member Kelly. Member Kelly moves. I'm going to give you a microphone, Member Kelly. Or when I say I mean Kelsey. Thank you.
I move that we approve the remaining consent calendar.
Okay, and we have a second to that. Member Bogus?
I just have a question.
Yep.
I have a birthday this year. I turned 32. So perhaps Carl Bowen and Sydney McCarty, I'm just wondering, with contracts 3 and 5, we have the Avant assessment, which is a DLI assessment, and then we've got our access and such under the WIDA umbrella. And I'm wondering why we need number 3 when we have the robust capacity of number 5.
We had a staff member just stand up. I don't know. I don't mean to call you out. You just stood up. Okay, Darren. There we go.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot at discussing that question. I'm Darren Nielsen, Assistant Superintendent of Student Learning. These two different platforms are really designed for two separate purposes. So the WIDA consortium assessment helps us identify our students learning English, their 4 domains: speaking, reading, listening, and writing. And we've had a contract with them for a number of years. This is renewing that contract into the future. Whereas the DLI, or the Avant, which is the contract that's before you today, is designed to measure proficiency in a number of languages, including all of those that we administer dual language immersion programs in the state in grades 3 through 8, I believe.
That does answer my question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Through the chair.
So the motion then is to approve the remainder of the consent items that have not been pulled. Member Earl.
Just tell us the numbers again of what has been pulled. I'm sorry, I was looking up there and I didn't see it. What are the numbers?
Yep, let me go ahead and restate those. For agenda item 11.1, we have contracts 4, 6, 7, and 10 that have been pulled.
Okay.
Additionally, 11.2 has been pulled.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay. With that, let's vote. That passes unanimously. Are there any additional motions? We have a motion from Member Bogus to adopt the minutes. That is agenda item 11.2. We have a second. Seeing no lights, let's vote.
Sorry.
That passes unanimously. Any movement on the pulled contract items?
So I have some questions. Is that okay? But I
I
can't
mean-
speak against my own motion. It's against the rules.
Yeah, I know. So, but if you have questions, you're welcome to ask them. You're
I
the only one
do.
with the light on.
All right, so in number 6, it appears, based on what is before me, that we're spending this money on a website. And I'm just curious as to how we justify $381,480 on web services. And maybe I just misread, but it just gave me that much consternation.
Okay. Member Earl.
I guess I just a question. I think this is for our school ends trust. Is that accurate? From what I understand, so it wouldn't be just a website. It would be the downloading. It would be all the provisions that are associated with it. But maybe I'm wrong. That's what I thought. The plans and so it's a broader thing than that. But maybe someone could speak to that. So
Yeah, that's what I would like to know, because it doesn't, the review sheet is not, there's not a level of clarity that gave me comfort.
Okay, and I don't know, Superintendent Hart.
Deputy Jones, are you conferring on that item, or?
So, Chair, if I understand Board Member Bogus's question correctly, the purchase order was issued from statewide cooperative contract. The calculation to arrive at the amount that she just quoted is based on a $76 per hour charge. So, by that particular vendor. So does that help answer the question, or could she repeat the question so perhaps I can address her concern with the amount?
Does that help, Member Bogus, or do you want to rephrase?
Perhaps I can
repeat?
rephrase. I'm just wondering how we get to such a large amount for the document that I had up just a minute ago. I closed out of it. It said it was for internet services, web-based services, and I just don't know how we get to such a large number for a website.
So, Chair, typically we calculate or estimate based on a number of years. So that amount is likely over a 3 to 5 year time span, given the quote that was provided to us from the vendor. So it's not just for like 1 year, or if you see on your tracker, for all board members through you, the chair, it doesn't have, it's an indefinite amount, but I'd have to go back and look at what we calculate. I'm sure it's multiple years, but I'm not sure at this point if it's 3 or 4 or 5 years for that amount of funding. I can get that,
Well,
but I just don't have it in front of me right now.
I appreciate that, Scott. Let me backtrack, and I want to apologize to the board. This is why we don't take July off, because I think I'm thrown for a second. We've already approved these, as Member Kelly approved everything that was not pulled. Are we talking about ones that are pulled, or am I?
I pulled
Or
number
these
6.
are the ones that we're talking about. Okay, I'm just trying to reset my brain to make sure we're on the same
Yeah.
page. So the ones that are still not voted on are 11.1.4, 6, 7, and 10. Is that correct? I'm making sure I'm on the same page. Member Bogus, is that?
So if I may.
And you're asking about item 6, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
thank you.
technically, I would be asking about item 6 and 7, because they're both in that same realm, but in particular, number 6.
Yeah. So Chair Hymas, if I may. So yes, the board had approved this earlier, but when we make amendments and increase the dollar amounts, especially when we're at the beginning of a budget year, we have to make sure that we, fully disclose that for transparency reasons to you, and so I'm focused on number 6 as well. So everything I just said was about only number 6. Do you want me to move to number 7, or?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I'm still not fully understanding Superintendent Jones. Let's say this is over 5 years, and I'm doing very crude math, but that's still $80,000 a year in web services. And I can't reconcile I just can't reconcile how we're spending that kind of money.
So Chair, I'd have to go back and look at the calculation sheet that was used to arrive at this amount. Could I do that? Could the board, or would the board member consider allowing the contract to be put into place subject to our confirmation of the dollars? Or, you know, if you need to wait on that, I can't get that information in that level of detail to you for decision-making purposes right now, because I'm up next for the monthly budget report too, so.
Great.
But I could, or maybe you could move it to tomorrow, and I could get that level of detail. Would that work through the chair for Board Member Vargas?
Well, there's no motion on the floor yet.
Oh,
and I
I'm
don't know
sorry.
if there's, I don't know if there's appetite for that and just saying, look, I already know my vote, I just want the information, or if, you know what I mean, if that's going to
Yeah.
deter. I'm guessing, and I understand that it's a guess, that you've already done the work and arrived at what you're comfortable with, you
Yeah.
just don't have the details in
I
front of you.
don't. I would have to pull the working papers
Right.
for it.
Okay. Member Kelly.
I tend to have much more of a simple mind than Christina, so I'm going to try to articulate maybe a question that I think maybe may get at what she's asking. But what service are they providing? What are they doing for that amount?
Utah State Board of Education School Land Trust project and other USB development-related activities per the attached scope of work dated November 30th, issued as a result of USBE solicitation. So again, this was a contract that was originally approved, but now we're increasing the funding that you had approved as part of the adoption of the fiscal year 26 budget. So it's our School Land Trust website. It's the website that your principals use to log in and submit plans and track their funding and do all that. So we're trying to keep up with technology advancements and upgrades in the oversight and management of the School Land Trust system or process. Does that help answer Board Member Kelly's question? Okay, good. Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
And I nominate Assistant Superintendent Nielsen to speak to number 7, sir, if needed. So,
Is that necessary, Member Bogus?
Thank you, sir. I would love for someone to delineate beyond what's in front of me, what we're spending this money on and why. I guess I'm a little confused with regard to we have the same contractor. We're adding funds to both contracts, and they both appear to be for different divisions, but the same thing. So if you could just delineate number 7 for me, I really would appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, number 7 is related to the development work we've been engaged in on behalf of the board for the Utah Consolidated Application. There's a component of that is built into Utah Grants Management, and then we have we're building inside our own platform an LEA needs assessment. We had scheduled to have that completed and ready for deployment this last year, but we also approached the board last September with carry forward fund proposal in case we needed it. The board authorized the funds to use if we needed it. We've got to this point of the year and recognized we need to extend the contract of the contract developer that's working with our staff to continue to build out enhancements and get that application ready for deployment to the LEAs. So that's what the funds for number 7 are associated with. So a very particular, specific programmer that's been working with our team that's building the LEA Consolidated Needs Assessment, which is a web-based application to assist LEAs in their strategic planning.
No, thank you, thank you. Vice Chair Bollinger.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion, if I may, Chair.
Yeah, please.
I'd like to move that we approve contract 11.4, 11.6, 11.7, and 11.10.
Why not? Well, yeah, she's, oh, so you,
Oh, each individually?
yeah.
Okay, then I'll just start with 11.4.
Yeah. Okay, so there is a motion to approve beginning the polled contracts, and so beginning with 11.1.4. I guess we don't need that on this. Maybe it is on some screen somewhere. So, but the motion is to approve contract 11.1.4. Let's vote when that's ready. There it is. Thank you. That passes 11 in favor, 4 in opposition, those being Member Brenton, Member Green, Member Longacre, and Member Bogus. Next, we have a motion to approve contract 11.1.6. Let's go ahead and vote. That passes 13 in favor, 1 abstention, 1 no vote. The abstention from Member Bogus, the no from Member Longacre. Next motion is 11 to approve contract 11.1.7. Let's go ahead and vote. That passes 14 in favor, 1 opposed, that opposition being Member Longacre. And finally, for contracts, the motion is to approve contract 11.1.10. Member Earl.
I just want to make sure I understand what this contract is. This contract is related to, we are no longer doing the Aspire assessment. That was something that the board asked for last year. The field asked for it as well. And so this would be an assessment for those ages, 10th and 9th and 10th graders in place of the Aspire assessment. And specifically, it would be aligned to the core standards that Utah has developed. So that districts can compare and to make improvements across the state. Am I thinking of the right thing?
I'm getting some thumbs up from the audience, yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I understood why we're doing this and what the importance is for our LEAs and the assessment pieces, because otherwise there won't be that assessment. Is that accurate? Okay.
Yes. So to restate the motion is to approve the contract item 11.1.10. Member Earl.
One more question. This contract, when it went out, this is required by code. Is that accurate or not? Because we're required to have an assessment for 9th and 10th grade. Okay.
Correct. Okay. Let's vote. Okay, that passes 12 in favor, 2 against, 1 absent, the 2 against being Member Longacre and Member Bogus. Thank you, board members. That brings us to agenda item 12, our monthly. We need 5 minutes? Let's take 5 minutes. A procedural question before we take a quick break. Go ahead, Member Davis.
Just because it's about this last thing, I want to make sure I'm clear for future reference. When we pull items from the consent calendar, does it automatically divide the question, or can a member make a motion to, say, move 3 of the 4, and then if someone wants to vote no on all of them, they could just vote no on the big motion, or if they, say, wanted to vote yes on 2 and no on 1, they could then divide the question, divide 1 out, and we could still vote on 2 and then divide out the 1.
I don't know if there's a default. Quite frankly, you know, I typically leave it up to the member to make their motion. If somebody says, hey, I move to divide, we could do that. In this, it was kind of obvious that there was a motion to divide, so we divided. And so, but I don't know if there's a set procedure for saying, no, these are automatically divided just because they are pulled. So we can look into it, but
Because it would just save a lot of time,
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to group those together. Okay. I'd also requested just in the future, I talked to staff about this, but if we could see which ones, these are required by code and which code, be helpful too.
the contracts, yeah, okay. Sure.
I loved the sheets that our staff put in here this month. My confusion came in that the numbers in the backup didn't match the numbers on the green sheet. And so if those could reconcile, that would make my world a lot easier. But I really did like the way you did it. I just wish the numbers reconciled. So thanks to whoever did that.
Okay, we got a 5-minute timer. Let's make good use of it.